It's the milkman. It must be our delivery.
He's new.
A virgin? Oh, I got a big package for you.
Eat up.
Tonight, we feast!
After The Last of Us proved to the world that you can indeed turn a successful computer game into an equally fantastic TV show, and with Fallout coming close to it, doubling down on that fact, I remembered that there was another recent show based on a computer property I almost forgot about, though it may be worth checking out. Twisted Metal. Hi there, it's Micha. As this show comes with very mixed reviews, I'm eager to find out which way I will lean with it. If you are curious too, then join me for this review video. Well, I could summarize the state of the world presented in the show for you, but as our main character, John Doe, does such a great job setting the scene, I will leave that honor with him.
20 years ago, the world fell to shit. Some bug took out all the world's computers, and not having easily accessible porn freaked people the fuck out. So cities put up walls to protect themselves and threw the criminals out into the chaos. Now insiders stay inside and outsiders stay outside, but there are people who drive between, delivering precious cargo from one walled city to another. And that's where the cars and the guns come in.
We are then thrown right into the action as John is under attack by people trying to steal his payload. But his trusted car, that he affectionately named Evelyn, combined with his driving skills, is no match for the pursuers.
See, a milkman's job is never done. But at the end of the day, all that matters is me, Evelyn, and the road.
The main plotline unfolds around an event no milkman before has ever encountered.
The COO of New San Francisco wants to talk to you. Inside.
Like inside?
Being invited inside one of the walled-off cities by Raven, the COO of New San Francisco. She shows him around, introduces him to her family, and treated him to a nice dinner. She also made him an offer.
If you go to New Chicago and bring this package back from me, I will make you a citizen of New San Francisco.
This offer comes as he is the most reliable milkman her city has ever dealt with. And since he was a kid when the world changed, just stranded outside, she has no concerns letting him in.
John, I remember when they threw the murderers and thieves and bad guys out into the world to fend for themselves without law and order. You don't belong out there. You're not one of them.
As living inside a city with all the perks of a functioning society is every outsider's dream, he happily jumps on that opportunity. Even though New Chicago is a place no milkman has ever gone to, because the route there is way too dangerous. The price seems worth the risk though, so he accepts. However, there is another catch.
You have 10 days to pick up the package and deliver it here. 1 second over and the deal expires. Can you handle that?
I can handle that.
But right after he left, we are shown that Raven misrepresented herself, making her real agenda and intent a mystery.
Get it back to its mother. Your payments in your apartment.
Meanwhile, we are introduced to two other main characters. A pair of siblings on the run and a self-proclaimed officer of the law, Agent Stone, who is chasing them with his team. Why did I say two main characters? Well, after catching them, Stone gave the duo a choice.
You can resist, in which case, have to napalm the both of you. Or, one of you can make the tough choice.
Eat my ass, motherfucker!
Afterwards, Stone has the woman branded with his mark, and then lets her go.
Just in case, decide to take the path of your brother. You have a nice day now, ma'am.
Which may turn out to be a huge mistake, as she is not willing to let this go, being hell-bent on killing Stone for what he did. So when she runs into John, she tries to steal his car, but is prevented by the arrival of the last remaining main character. The demented clown Sweet Tooth, who is known all around for being a psycho. Unwillingly at first, they join forces to avoid being killed by the clown.
Hey, silent but not very deadly. You gonna come over here and help me with this?
As she at first pretends to be mute, he names her Quiet. And the name remains as she keeps refusing to give him her name. Meanwhile, Sweet Tooth, while previously being locked away in an asylum for the criminally insane, turns out to be at least somewhat companionable.
What do you think?
I loved it.
If you're not gonna tell the truth, then I'm gonna make you shut up and bleed.
It was a fucking snooze fest.
Now you talk?
Basically just looking for an honest audience.
But didn't Mark Twain say you should write what you know?
Oh, Mark Twain's a dumbass. You gotta get out in the world, man.
You know what? You're right. The show is going on the road.
After he let them go, John and Quiet continue their team up, as they work well together, even though she keeps her agenda a secret, which results in some twists and turns. There are also many side quests and adventures the two of them have to master along the way, which includes encounters with a self-contained convoy.
Welcome to the convoy.
Wow.
A group called the Holy Men.
At least they're having a good time.
He's not.
Holy shit. Maybe he deserved it.
I didn't.
A gathering of fellow milkmen who turned on them, and many more. Their main antagonist will remain Agent Stone, who tries to control the whole USA with his own brand of justice. And Stone has an interest in John too, as he has a map of the United States that he got from a friend whose name he wouldn't give up, which basically bypasses all of Stone's checkpoints and outposts, undermining his authority and therefore really pissing him off. However, Stone has a big problem of his own.
What is it?
Machete.
As Sweet Tooth decided to take his act on the road,
Hi, everybody.
and also took a liking to attacking Stone's bases, killing all cops in sight and freeing their prisoners whom he considered like-minded souls,
So, did you like it or what?
and of which many chose to follow the clown on his mission. Will John be able to make the delivery on time? What is Raven's real agenda? Will Stone stop the duo? Will Quiet get her revenge? Check out this show to find out. Let's start by saying that this is a solid show and I ended up binging it quite quickly. It is not on par with The Last of Us, which was to be expected, but almost reached the same entertainment factor Fallout landed on. And truth be told, for a show based on the Twisted Metal franchise, this is quite an achievement. And I don't mean to bash on the games, I'm just referring to the fact that they, as far as I know, are just about cars shooting each other in an arena setting. I've only played the first part once on the PS1 back in the day, so all I know is that the show mainly references the games by using the Sweet Tooth character, which is prominent in the games. And close to the end of a series, we see most characters, large and small, facing off in an arena-style setting.
It's time, Stu. Light her up.
In that scene they also made a nod to the games by having Sweet Tooth set his head on fire.
Time to play.
Which is nice fan service, though it looked not really that convincing and felt a bit off, as even the craziest person could not have had a fire burning on his skull for several minutes without being severely hurt. But hey, that is just a small issue. Anyway, the only other big story element of the game that I could read up on is that the winner of the fight will get their heart's greatest desire fulfilled by a being called Calypso, who also appeared in the series, though in voice only.
Show yourself!
Why would I reveal my face?
Wait a minute. Are you Calypso?
What?
That aspect will likely become important in the second series of a show, which is already greenlit.
We're here for something important.
And which I will also watch for sure. But let's look closer at the show itself. The cast is pretty sweet, with Anthony Mackie leading out as John Doe, a guy with no memory of his past before the time of a car crash, after which he awoke as a kid. He plays his character very likable, a bit tongue-in-cheek and sometimes breaking the fourth wall. He even manages to make us shed a tear after the destruction of an inanimate object, because his character really suffers for it, which is quite a feat. And it was nice to see Stephanie Beatrice in another starring role, here as Quiet. She again played a tough woman, though here she was allowed to use her normal speaking voice, and didn't have to speak on a lower vocal range as she did in Brooklyn Nine-Nine.
Okay, we have time for one more question.
Oh,
Nope, absolutely not. We're done.
She also managed to make her character very likable, even though she double crosses our hero several times. By the way, we also see Jason Mantzoukas, who plays her recurring love interest in Brooklyn Nine-Nine, in a guest role, playing Preacher, the leader of the Holy Men, in a very funny special appearance. Professional wrestler Joe Sanoa, aka Samoa Joe, plays the hulking physical form of Sweet Tooth, while the distinctive voice of Will Arnett is adding an unexpected, yet fittingly funny talkativeness to the character of the clown, who has more layers than you might expect at first.
I'm gonna get out there and I'm gonna embrace the chaos. Who knows? Maybe I'll even fall in love.
And having Thomas Hayden Church, who plays Agent Stone, in a project can also never hurt. And he is once more doing a great job here.
You ever heard of him?
No, sir, but
No. Stop talking. It's rhetorical.
There are also several guest appearances worth mentioning, with the most prominent being Neve Campbell as the dubious Raven, and Chloe Fineman, one of my favorite current SNL cast members who is allowed to really go apeshit in her role as Bloody Mary, a former girlfriend of John's. The action, camera work and set pieces are also convincing, so no complaints about technical aspects either. As I mentioned before, I liked it almost as much as the recent Fallout series. And while I there thought the romance felt too constructed and came out of the blue, here it felt organic, as it grew over time from annoyance over acceptance to friendship and then even more. This is how you do it. And with that being said, let's get to the rating. Well, I did say I liked it almost as much as Fallout, and Fallout I rated with 7.5 out of 10 points. This should mean that the score for this show would be lower than that. But though they didn't do most things well here, they did some, and the room for improvement is not that big. So I should objectively also go with 7.5 out of 10 points here. Thinking about some of the backstories, especially that of Quiet and her brother, who are about the same age as John, meaning that they also struggled since they were kids, being stranded outside of the major city walls. They had it tough, and those flashbacks didn't hold back when it comes to the cruelty of entitled people in a world gone mad. With those plotlines in mind, I have to stick with 7.5 out of 10 and won't go lower. Yes, I think that's fair. Like fellow critics commented, it will not win an Emmy, but I say it doesn't have to. It still can be solid entertainment, and for me, that is a major consideration point in rating a show. What about you? Have you seen the show and agree, or were you disappointed? Have you played the games and noticed a nod to them I have missed? Whatever you like to share, let me know in the comments. And if you enjoyed this video, feel free to like, share or subscribe. So much for now, see you next time and thanks for watching. Combined with his drawing skills, driving skills, which basically bypass all of Stone's checkpoints and outposts, that he affectionately are just about cars shooting each other in an arena setup.